Previously in The Entombed. Brother Orpheon, once a revered assault sergeant of the Adeptus Astartes, suffers mortal wounds in battle and is denied death. Instead, his broken body is entombed within the sarcophagus of a mighty Dreadnought, an ancient war machine of unyielding iron. Struggling to accept his new existence, Orpheon awakens for the first time to the cold reality of his fate, guided only by the calm voice of the tech marine Vitron. Now, as the rites of slumber descend upon him, Orpheon prepares for what will become his new eternity, an endless cycle of waking, fighting, and returning to darkness. But as time stretches on, and wars blur into one another, he will face not only the enemies of the Imperium, but the slow unraveling of his own mind. His optics ignite in a flash of crimson light, vision aligning violently to the distorted haze of the battlefield. Red and amber lumen runes burn across his display, flashing tactical overlays into his consciousness faster than his thoughts can catch them. Alert. Multiple hostiles present threat level. Maximum friendly formations. Fragmented primary. Objective: eliminate. His limbs respond before his mind does. Servo motors lock into position, hydraulic pressure flooding through his adamantium frame. The machine spirit coils beneath his thoughts, reactive, aggressive. It aligns his motions with a predatory ease, feeding threat assessment data into his mind, even as his assault fists begin to swing. The first strike pulverizes a figure clad in spiked plate. Bone and ceramite shatter beneath the crushing blow. A spray of blood smears across the cracked stone of the battlefield. His left fist follows, punching through another enemy's torso in a grinding burst of hydraulic force. The enemy collapses, his targeting reticule shifts, his optics sharpen, more targets. His fists lash out, actuators whining beneath the pressure of repeated impact. A monstrous warrior clad in Baroque armor lunges toward him, twin chain blades screaming as they descend toward his midsection. Orpheon's right arm pivots smoothly, intercepting the strike. His left fist drives forward, direct, mechanical. The blow catches the enemy in the chest. A pulse of power surges through his frame as the assault fist crushes through ceramite and bone. The chain blades fall silent as the ruined body collapses beneath him. Orpheon steps forward. His limbs are heavy but obedient. The machine spirit feeds his movements, aligning the targeting pathways to his thoughts. His mind, however, lags behind. The battlefield distorts at the edges of his vision, a blur of crimson and black, broken by the intermittent pulse of lasfire and the muted rumble of bolter detonations. His optics scan the warriors beside him, transmitting data into his neural feed. Chapter heraldry overlays across his display. Familiar colors, familiar sigils, unfamiliar faces. They fight beside him, calling out to each other over the vox. Their voices echo faintly beneath the noise of battle, muted beneath the machine spirit's tactical data stream. He recognizes the cadence of their speech, the war prayers they shout between bolter bursts. But not the men themselves. Decades. It has been decades since his last awakening. To him, it feels like mere moments. Another warrior falls before him, chest punched through by a storm of shrapnel. The wounded marine stumbles toward him, reaching out with a gauntleted hand. Orpheon steps past him without acknowledgement. His targeting overlay shifts to the nearest enemy signature, threat markers flaring across his field of vision. Another blow, another kill. A creature 3 meters tall and wrapped in barbed, corrupted plate lunges from the smoke. Its mouth is a jagged maw of rusted iron and wet meat, burning with the unnatural glow of warp corruption. Orpheon's fists rise instinctively. His right fist crushes the creature's malformed skull. His left fist follows, smashing its ruined frame into the mud. Threat neutralized. Advance to objective marker. Orpheon steps forward. Hydraulic pistons hiss beneath the weight of his assault chassis. His limbs respond with brutal precision, calibrated and precise beneath the machine's spirit's guidance. His fists rise and fall with the mechanical detachment of a siege engine. Another blow, another kill, another threat eliminated, and yet he feels nothing. No rage, no satisfaction, no purpose beyond the cold transmission of orders and the clean simplicity of execution. He moves as the machine spirit directs. He functions as intended. He kills as required. But beneath the smooth function of limb and metal, his thoughts strain against the cold weight of confusion. His optics sharpen toward the warriors fighting alongside him, men bearing his chapter's heraldry, their armor streaked with the ash of burning promethium and the gore of close-quarters combat. He does not know their names, he does not know their faces, and they do not call out to him as a brother. They call him Ancient, a title, a reverence weighted beneath centuries of expectation. The warriors glance toward him mid-battle, their eyes gleaming beneath bloodied helms, with the kind of quiet awe one reserves for relics rather than men. He steps over the corpse of a fallen enemy. His fists twitch beneath the residual pressure feedback from the last impact. The machine responds smoothly, without hesitation. His mind, however, lingers. The last battle he remembers was not this one. The last warriors he fought beside are long gone, dead beneath the mud and the black sun of a distant war zone. Vitron's words flicker in his memory.
You will wake again, and you will fight.
He fights. He kills. He functions, but he is no longer part of them. He is a weapon among them, no more. A figure to his left drops to one knee, shoulder shattered beneath a blow from a corrupted axe. Orpheon's optics scan the marine's armor, worn markings along the greaves, a single purity seal scorched beneath the heat of plasma fire, and no name, no history, another unknown. Orpheon's left fist lashes out, pulverizing the enemy standing over the wounded marine. Bone and plate rupture beneath the impact. The wounded marine's gaze rises toward him, awe and uncertainty flickering behind the cracked faceplate of his helm.
Ancient,
the marine breathes. Orpheon steps past him without acknowledgement. His fists rise once more, his targeting reticule aligns. The machine spirit pulses beneath his thoughts, narrowing the next firing solution into his neural core. A flash of lasfire tears across the smoke-choked air. A nearby marine screams as his armor bursts beneath the impact. Orpheon pivots smoothly, left fist hammering into the core of the nearest enemy. Efficient, brutal, clinical. He moves through the enemy like a machine of war, his limbs responding with practiced efficiency. His mind processes the battle as a tactical simulation. Kill, advance, secure. But he feels nothing. The battle ends. The last of the enemy collapses beneath his fist, its broken frame twitching in the dirt. His targeting grid pulses, recalibrating, searching for new threats. None appear.
Eastern flank secured,
a voice says through the voxnet. Orpheon's optics flicker toward the surviving warriors. They are gathering, securing the perimeter. Taking stock of the casualties, battle brothers move through the smoke, their armor blackened with plasma burns, their helms reflecting the dim red haze of orbital fire. A figure approaches, a sergeant. He removes his helm, revealing a scarred face beneath, short-cropped hair, tired, sunken eyes.
Ancient,
The sergeant says. His voice is steady, respectful.
the flank held because of you.
Orpheon's targeting reticles flicker. The figure before him is a stranger. His squad markings are wrong. His face is unknown. His name. Orpheon searches his memory. There is nothing.
What is your name?
The sergeant hesitates. Confusion flickers across his face.
You'll know me, Ancient. I am Sergeant Variance.
The name means nothing,
I do not know you.
Orpheon says. The sergeant's expression hardens.
You fought beside me before on Galen. You saved my squad from the Tyrannid Vanguard.
Orpheon's optics dim. He searches his memory. Galon, a hollow space where that memory should exist. His tactical logs show the mission parameters, engagement, kill ratios, strategic withdrawal, all recorded, all present. But the faces are absent. The names are gone.
I do not remember.
Orpheon says. The sergeant's face darkens. He hesitates, as though searching for something to say, and then bows his head.
Of course, Ancient.
The warriors around him begin to withdraw. Drop ships roar across the blackened sky, cutting down through the smoke. Recovery teams move into position. Tactical grid resolution stabilizes. Orpheon's frame disengages from combat stance. A low hum echoes through his internal Vox channels. Threat neutralized, secondary objective identified, advance to position. 12 Alpha. Orpheon obeys. Not because he chooses to. Not because he feels driven to protect the brothers beside him. Because it is function. His fists lash out. Enemies collapse beneath the pressure of adamantium and ceramite. Hydraulic motors surge beneath his limbs, feeding him the cold inertia of momentum and strike vectors. His mind pulses beneath the clean efficiency of it. But beneath the mechanical precision, beneath the clean execution of programmed function, there is nothing. No pride, no glory. Only the dull repetition of a cycle without end. Another kill, another order, another step toward the inevitable. Alert, friendly casualties. At 27% reinforcements required. Orpheon's optics flicker beneath the red haze of his targeting reticule. His assault fists rise, his targeting overlay shifts. The machine spirit aligns his thoughts with the next execution solution. Another order, another strike, another death. And so, he obeys. The battlefield falls away. Smoke curls into the sky, black and oily, drifting upward like a funeral shroud. The air reeks of charred ceramite, of scorched bone, and the bitter tang of ion discharge. The ground is a mire of blood and crushed metal, strewn with bodies. Some his brothers, some their enemies, all equally motionless now. Orpheon stands motionless amid the ruin. The machine spirit is subdued now, dormant beneath the quiet hum of post-battle stasis. His limbs are slack, dripping blood from the joints. The war is over. The cycle has ended. For now, retrieval order confirmed, suspension protocol initiated. The cold pulse of shutdown begins to wash over his limbs. His vision narrows. His thoughts grow distant. The battlefield fades beneath the encroaching dark. Time slips away. Light. His optics flicker back online. vision sharpening as power surges through his sarcophagus frame. The red glare of war is gone, replaced with the dim amber glow of lumen strips flickering along the reclusium walls. The hum of maintenance servitors echoes faintly through the chamber. He is still, inactive, suspended. For
How long? Brother.
Vitron's voice, low and steady. The sound cuts through the static hum of the sarcophagus systems, grounding Orpheon's mind against the pull of confusion.
You are restored.
Vitron says.
Your chassis endured minimal structural compromise. Your core functions remain stable.
Orpheon's optics adjust, his vision focusing on the crimson shape standing before him. Vitron's armor is different now. His shoulder plate carries new sigils, new patterns etched in iron across the red of his warplate. The sacred markings of Mars have grown more elaborate, more intricate, like the roots of an ancient tree twisting deeper into soil.
You fought well.
Vitron continues. His gauntlet rests against the control panel, fingers tracing the activation runes with absent familiarity.
The chapter prevailed.
Orpheon tries to speak. His vox grill crackles, distorted static breaking the silence before his voice finally drags itself into clarity.
How long?
Vitron's gaze shifts upward, settling on the dull red glow of Orpheon's vision slit.
2 decades.
2 decades. To Orpheon, it had been moments. A blink, a heartbeat. The battlefield seemed as fresh in his mind as the scent of burning promethium, the screams of his brothers still ringing in his thoughts. 2 decades. He tries to recall the faces of those he had fought beside, his brothers who had bled in the mud and fire at his side. Their armor was clear enough in his memory, their chapter's colors vibrant in his mind. But the faces are gone. The shapes blur, the names dissolve into static. He tries to remember, truly remember, but the images slip away, smothered beneath the dull pressure of the machine spirit's presence.
Brother?
Orpheon rumbles, his vox distorted.
Who were they?
Vitron's face hardens. He does not need to ask what Orpheon means.
Gone.
Vitron says simply.
Replaced.
The words strike like a hammer against Orpheon's mind. The brothers he had fought beside, names unknown, faces forgotten, all reduced to a single word. Gone. Orpheon's optics dim slightly. He feels the cold pressure of something unfamiliar tightening within him, something like loss, but blunted and faint, distant.
You will know them soon enough.
Vitron says. He gestures toward the votive candles scattered along the base of the sarcophagus, each flame marking a name, a memory, a life.
There will always be more.
Another war. The cycle repeats. He wakes again, red light screaming in his vision slit, the machine's spirit burning with violent purpose. His limbs obey before his thoughts align. His fists crush skulls, his frame pounds the earth like a living siege engine. The enemy falls, and Orpheon advances. His brothers shout commands over the vox. Their voices are strange, unfamiliar. They call each other by names he does not recognize. Adrian, Corin, Silas. But these names mean nothing to him. The men he fought beside last are gone. The warriors who called him ancient are dead. The blood he shed for them is already buried beneath the dust of forgotten battlefields. He tries to remember their faces. He cannot. He wakes again. New war. New faces. The sigils of his chapter have shifted, the gold now duller, the crimson warplate trimmed with new markings that mean nothing to him. The Marines beside him look younger now, their armor is lighter, their weapons sleeker. They fight beside him like strangers. He fights because it is all he can do. He wakes again. New voices, new names. He no longer tries to remember. And yet, Vitron remains, always there, waiting for him after each battle. The armor changes, the battles blur, but Vitron is a constant, a presence in the dark that never fades.
You fought well.
Vitron tells him again, standing at the foot of his sarcophagus.
Your chapter grows stronger.
Orpheon's voice grinds low from his vox grill.
I don't know them. I know.
Vitron replies. His voice is calm, steady, yet there's something deeper beneath it now. Weariness, a hint of sorrow.
You will, in time.
But Orpheon knows that is a lie. He listens as Vitron tells him of their chapter's victories, of the glories won, the heroes who died with their blades raised high in defiance. Orpheon listens to the names, tries to bind them to memories, tries to fix them in his thoughts. But by the time Vitron finishes, the names are already gone. The memories crumble. The faces dissolve. His mind empties itself like a leaking wound, and the names are lost before they can take root. The timeline is breaking. The battles are bleeding into one another, becoming a blur of static and motion. His mind is unwinding beneath the weight of too many wars, too many faces. Time is slipping away from him.
Tell me again.
Orpheon asks, his voice distant and low.
Tell me their names again.
Vitron's face tightens.
You won't remember. I know.
Orpheon replies.
But tell me anyway.
And so Vitron does. He speaks their names, the fallen, the victorious, the lost. He speaks as though it matters, as though those names will linger inside Orpheon's shattered mind for more than a fleeting moment. But as Vitron speaks, Orpheon can already feel the names slipping away, each one fading like smoke. Wake, brother Orpheon. The words drag him upward from the black. His mind ignites beneath the sudden surge of sensory input. Power cycling through his warframe, hydraulics engaging, targeting systems aligning. His optics flare red. Data floods his mind in sharp pulses of machine code. Threat level, yellow. Primary. Objective, restore readiness. Core, systems, stable. He awakens into the dim glow of the reclusiam. Lumen strips flicker weakly along the high walls. The incense smoke is thicker than usual, curling lazily through the air, suffocating the sterile chill of the chamber. He expects to see Vitron standing before him. He expects to hear his voice, steady, patient, grounding him against the dark tide of confusion. He expects the familiar weight of that presence. But Vitron is not there. Instead, a figure stands before him, a figure clad in the crimson and iron of the Mechanicus, his war plate etched with unfamiliar sigils, and a fresh coat of ceremonial oil. His movements are smooth, precise. His posture lacks warmth. Orpheon's optics narrow beneath the sliver of his vision slit. His targeting reticule shifts, locking onto the figure's profile. Augmetic interfacing runes overlay across his vision. Identification, Brother Theus. Rank, Tech Marine Service. Record, 224 years.
Diagnostic complete.
A voice says, not Vitron. Theus's face is cold beneath the sheen of his crimson warplate. His bionic eye pulses faintly, tracking the data stream across Orpheon's sarcophagus interface. His expression is clinical, dispassionate.
Brother Orpheon.
Theus says, His tone is devoid of emotion.
Your systems are operational. Restoration complete. Core integrity within acceptable tolerances.
Orpheon's fists flex beneath the dormant pulse of the machine spirit. His mind is slow, processing the disconnect between the familiarity of the chamber and the absence of Vitron's voice. He tries to rise. The hydraulics in his frame respond smoothly without resistance. His right assault fist twitches toward activation position, locking into place with a low thrum of pressure release. Theus's gaze does not shift.
Who are you?
The Tech Marine's helm tilts slightly. The green glow of his optics flickers in the dim light. His servo arms shift behind him, adjusting with quiet, mechanical precision.
I am Brother Theus.
He says. His tone is clinical, measured, stripped of warmth.
Tech Marine of the Third Company. I have been assigned as your caretaker.
Assigned?
Orpheon's voice rumbles through the external vox, distorted and cold beneath the weight of static interference. His frame vibrates beneath him as his neural connection fully synchronizes with the machine spirit.
Correct.
Orpheon's optics flicker. His combat grid cycles. His thoughts drift beneath the low hum of machine code feedback. His awareness sharpens beneath the tension of confusion. Orpheon's vox grill crackles beneath the distortion of his voice.
Where is Brother Vitron?
Theus's gaze meets his. His bionic eye pulses coldly.
Vitron is dead.
The words strike like a thunderbolt through his mind. His fists clench involuntarily, the servos whining beneath the sudden pressure spike. The machine spirit stirs in response, instinctive, reactive. Orpheon's voice sharpens beneath the distortion of his vox.
When?
Theus's response is immediate.
Over 3 years ago.
A hollow sound vibrates through Orpheon's frame. A low grinding from the internal strain of his servo motors locking under tension. His optics pulse, flickering beneath the red haze of his targeting array. His thoughts stumble, misfiring beneath the sudden clash of memory and reality. 3 years. Impossible. Vitron had been there after the last battle. He had spoken to him. He had prepared him for the next awakening. His voice had been clear. He had been... Orpheon's mind fractures beneath the weight of it. Orpheon's targeting reticules narrow. His mind stretches backward, searching through the fragmented ruins of his memory. He feels the shape of the knowledge, the hollow space where it once resided, a memory already lost.
No.
Yes.
No.
You have learned this before.
Theus says. His tone does not change.
It is recorded within your data logs.
The realization slams through Orpheon's mind with the force of a bolter round. He has already learned this. He has already grieved this. And then he forgot.
No.
His voice emerges as a low snarl of distorted vox static. The word growls low beneath the distortion of his vox. His limbs jerk beneath the surge of hydraulic pressure. His mind strains against the crushing weight of realization. The fragmented understanding that this has already happened, that he has already known this loss, that he has forgotten it, that he will forget it again. He remembers the grief, the emptiness, the sound of Vitron's voice fading into memory. He remembers standing in this chamber, asking these same questions, feeling the same hollow ache, and now he must suffer it all over again. Theus' helm tilts. His servo arms curl inward.
You have asked about Vitron in every prior awakening. I have answered you each time.
each time. The memory comes in jagged flashes. Vitron's face beneath the darkened glow of the reclusiam. Vitron's hand against his armor. Vitron speaking to him in the wake of battle. The quiet hum of his servo arms. The calm timbre of his voice. Orpheon's thoughts spiral inward. He has already known this, already suffered it, already endured the weight of it. And then he forgot.
How did he die?
Vitron was killed in battle on the edge of the Gore Rift. His position was overrun. His body was never recovered.
You are certain?
Yes.
How?
Orpheon's thoughts fracture beneath the weight of static.
How long since I last knew this?
Theus's gaze does not shift.
You have asked this before.
Orpheon's frame shudders beneath the pressure of machine tension. His limbs tremble. The hum of the machine spirit pulses faintly against his thoughts, a cold undercurrent beneath the chaos unraveling through his mind.
Why?
Why what?
Why can I not remember?
Theus' helm tilts again. His optics narrow beneath the flicker of crimson light.
Because you are not meant to.
Orpheon's servos hiss as his limbs shift beneath him. His frame vibrates beneath the cold hum of the machine spirit's passive engagement state. His targeting systems flicker, adjusting.
That was taken from me.
Not taken.
Theus's tone is steady.
Lost. Faded. Beneath the weight of time and cognitive degradation. Memories are fragile things. You were never meant to carry them for this long.
Then what am I supposed to hold on to?
Purpose.
Orpheon's optics flicker.
Purpose.
You are a weapon of the chapter. You are a relic of the first company. You are honored beyond measure. You will forget again.
Theus says. His voice remains clinical, detached.
In time.
The truth of it cuts deeper than any blade. He knows it is true. He can feel the memory already eroding, slipping beneath the dark tide of his fragmented mind. His fists lower. The weight of it settles across his frame like chains. His thoughts slip beneath the cold gravity of inevitability.
This is a curse.
Orpheon's voice distorts.
Not an honor.
Theus tilts his head slightly. His expression does not change.
Honor is irrelevant. Only function remains.
Theus's hand rises toward the control panel. His gauntlet brushes the edge of the interface. The sleep cycle begins to stir beneath the surface of Orpheon's mind, a distant cold pressure tightening around the edges of his thoughts. Orpheon's limbs tighten beneath him. His frame vibrates with slow mechanical tension. His thoughts drift beneath the hollow static of the machine spirit's neural interface.
Vitron, he told me I would remember him.
He was wrong.
Orpheon's optics sharpen. His frame shifts beneath the weight of his armor. Theus's servo arms twitch behind him, his mechanical gaze steady beneath the glow of his helm's optics.
Rest now.
Theus says.
No.
Orpheon growls, limbs straining against the pull of the sleep protocols.
No, I am not finished.
You are?
Theus replies. His voice is hollow.
Until you are needed again.
Orpheon's vision darkens at the edges, his servo motors slow beneath the failing power cycle. His mind recoils beneath the soft, invasive pressure of neural disconnect. His thoughts twist beneath the rising tide of darkness. The realization is unbearable. Not just the loss, but the certainty of it. He will forget. He will wake again. He will ask for Vitron. He will hear these words, he will grieve, and he will forget again. Over and over and over. There will be no peace, no release, only this endless repetition.
I don't want this.
It is not for you to want.
Theus says. His hand lowers toward the final activation rune.
Rest now, brother Orphean.
Orphean's optics pulse weakly. His fists slacken beneath the dying hum of the machine's spirit. His thoughts spiral downward, slipping beneath the pull of cold stasis. Theus's voice echoes faintly as the chamber darkens.
You will wake again.
I do not want to forget.
You will.
Orphean's frame settles beneath the weight of his own armor. His limbs begin to shut down. His mind compresses beneath the cold static of sleep state protocols.
I do not want to forget him.
And yet you will.
Orphean's awareness collapses inward. His thoughts thin beneath the weight of sleep protocols. Theus remains standing.
Initiating neural sleep protocols. Shutting down primary cognition. Engaging hibernation state.
Orphean's optics dim. His awareness shrinks. His thoughts fragment beneath the black tide of machine code.
Alright, and that was the Red Awakening, or whatever I kind of end up calling it. I'm not exactly sure. I was choosed at the very last moment. I really hope you guys liked it. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff. If you didn't like it, let me know. Give me some constructive criticism though. Don't just be mean. I don't want to hear it if you're mean. But no, for real, I hope you guys liked it. Stay tuned for commentary at the end after this. That's really it. Stay tuned for the third part. This is the second part. You can catch them all eventually in the description, right? And then I'll eventually release the full audiobook version. So thank you. I hope you guys have a good night, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, all that stuff. Thank you so much. Alright, talk to you soon. Alright, now let's do the commentary. Let's see. I don't have a ton. Oh, I know I said I had a ton to say, but I'm kind of feeling lazy right now, so I don't have actually that much to say. But the few things that I do are that I really wanted the Orphean, right? He's going through this experience, right? And everyone is not really empathetic towards him. They use him as a weapon, right? Vitron is the only one that is empathetic towards him. He's the only one that views him as like a brother still, right? And the only one that like cares for him, takes care of him, etc., etc., etc. I wanted Theus, which is the guy that takes over after Vitron unfortunately dies. I wanted Theus to be the opposite of that. Theus was the guy in the first video that was talking at the beginning of the story next to Vitron. And now that he's in charge of taking care of Orphean, he's very cold about it. He's very callous. He's very, very cold. Very not empathetic in any way whatsoever. But the idea behind that was that because they both have to go, right, they're both tech marines, so they both have to go to, I'm not an expert on the lore, so don't judge me, but I'm pretty sure they both have to go to the Mechanicus to get trained. And while they're getting trained, they're also getting indoctrinated in the religion and in, you know, how the culture and everything. My idea was that Vitron, essentially, when they both came back, Vitron was obviously a higher rank than Theus. But when they come back, Vitron still holds on to his heraldry, right? His Space Marine chapter, that brotherly attachment, right? He still embraces that more so than he does the whole Mechanicus teachings and the whole Mechanicus religion and everything. Whereas Theus is the opposite of that. Theus is the guy that came back, still is a part of the chapter, but he believes that he is a part of the Mechanicus itself. He fully is indoctrinated. He's fully in the whole religious aspect of it and the culture. So Theus views Orpheon strictly as a tool, right? A weapon, a tool. And whereas Vitron was more viewing him as a brother, not just a weapon, not just a tool. And that's kind of, I really wanted to get that across. I know that I felt like I was able to do that after reviewing it. Maybe I should have given Theus more screen time at the beginning in the first video, because he doesn't really have a ton. He kind of comes out of the blue, but I also thought that that was acceptable because it's like Vitron died. We're from Orpheon's perspective, so we didn't obviously know that Vitron died, and obviously someone needs to take his place. So it was supposed to be the guy that's like right underneath Vitron, which was Theus. But maybe I didn't communicate that as well as I could have. Again, I'm feeling kind of lazy. I just kind of want to get this video out of here. I have this other, it's more of like a war mystery video that's pretty much complete. It's about an hour and a half. I want to kind of get that out there and see what people think. I wrote this story a while ago, right? So this is kind of old news to me, but yeah. And then I have a second story after the, I guess a third story that I'll be releasing. That's all written. It's not all written. The first two parts are written, and then I have to. I'm writing it like. It's a journal entry thing, so I'm kind of writing it like. I'm trying to write it with no structure, right? Like as just boom, 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 but still make it like have an act 1, act 2, act 3, and etc. So we'll see how that goes. But that one's kind of related more to like the backrooms kind of vibes, and it's a journal entry, but it's like the backrooms in Warhammer, and we'll see where that goes. But that is all. Thank you for listening to my ramblings again. If you liked it, like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. I'll release the third part in a couple of days. Then I'll release the final version, and then I'll start releasing a new story. So, thanks for sticking around. Have a good night, have a good day, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, and it covers all of them. And thank you so much. Alright, I'll talk to you soon.